Honestly speaking, I feel that Shanghai's economy this year is even worse than that of third-tier cities. Recently, another 380,000 people have left Shanghai. According to data from the Shanghai Exit Entry Administration, 380,000 people went through exit procedures in just 1 month. Look at this old Qibao street, completely empty, not a single soul in sight. There's really no one here. How can anyone do business like this? Why has Shanghai become a city with a shrinking population? Since last year, a large number of people have stopped coming to Shanghai. According to a recent census, the permanent population last year was 24.86 million, whereas it used to peak at over 30 million. Now it has dropped by at least 5 million. I've been in Shanghai looking for work for 30 days now and still haven't found a single job while spending a lot of money. In the end, I had no choice but to leave Shanghai. This place now breaks my heart. This is a rental room in Shanghai that costs 5,000 yuan per month. Recently, many friends who once came to Shanghai with me to build a career have left one after another. 10 years ago, we arrived full of ambition, believing we could make it in this city. But the era of riding the tide is over. These past 2 years have truly been more and more difficult. I've lived and worked in Shanghai for nearly 20 years and have clearly felt how the population has decreased over the past 2 years. In the past, shopping malls were packed on weekends. Now, they're so empty it feels like they're about to shut down. There are no customers in clothing stores, the roads are no longer congested during rush hour, and you can even get a seat on the subway. Shanghai used to be called a major international metropolis, with a population peaking at over 30 million. Now, it's down to just over 25 million. How can a frontline city like this become so quiet? I wanted to go out for dinner at 6 p.m., peak time, but found that my favorite restaurant had closed without me even noticing. The scene is bleak. Coffee shops that were once crowded now have no customers. Even indoor areas with air conditioning are empty. This shows how truly gloomy Shanghai has become. Has Shanghai changed? The city that once made people never want to leave is now seeing more and more people walk away. Some say outsiders no longer want to come to Shanghai, and even locals are leaving in growing numbers. I just want to ask, where exactly have all these people gone? Let me share a bit about the current job situation in Shanghai. I left my job at the end of October last year, and to this day I still haven't found another one. Hard to believe, right? I was the head of finance for 7 years at a reputable company, leading a team of 7 people, and yet I still can't land a job. Is there something wrong with me? Honestly, the problem isn't me. The job market right now is just that brutal. Now, many large companies in Shanghai are laying off employees, while small companies are teetering on the edge of losses and bankruptcy. China's economy is declining rapidly, and this is most clearly visible in first-tier cities like Shanghai. Once the pride of the government and a symbol of prosperity, Shanghai now feels desolate and broken. The streets are empty and stores are deserted. Although the authorities try to cover up the truth with fake data, many bloggers have posted videos showing a mass exodus of migrant workers and a sharp drop in the permanent population, clear signs that the economic situation is truly dire. I work in business registration services in Shanghai, so I'm very sensitive to changes in the number of clients. Today, I spoke with someone else in finance who asked me, "Have you noticed there are fewer people in Shanghai this year?" Many apartments are sitting vacant with no tenants, the streets are nearly empty even during rush hour, and the nearby shopping malls are as silent as abandoned temples. Even the vegetable vendor mentioned that the number of customers has obviously dropped. So where has everyone gone? I honestly don't understand. Why are people leaving Shanghai? Is it because the pressure of living here is too intense? Did they fail in business and have to return to their hometowns? Or is it that the industries they pursued in Shanghai pay too little or have no job openings? But if they're leaving Shanghai, where are they going? It's no longer like before. Most people have gone back to their hometowns. Even foreigners aren't as common anymore. Many have left and never returned. The city has lost its former liveliness. The suburbs are even more deserted. Why are Shanghai's streets so empty? Aside from tourist spots and hospitals, almost everywhere else is quiet. The aquarium, the 3-piece landmark skyscrapers, the Oriental Pearl Tower, there's not a single soul. The rural areas are even more lifeless. I often take major metro lines like 2, 3, and 4, especially Zhongshan Park Station, which used to be packed. Now it's clearly less crowded than before 2020. Even at busy hubs like Shanghai Railway Station, platforms are sparse and trains have empty seats at 7 p.m. These lines are key indicators of Shanghai's vitality. If they're quiet, how can people not feel concerned? Quite a few bloggers have posted videos showing how cold and empty Shanghai has become. Anyone living here can feel it clearly. Those who have stayed in Shanghai for many years confirm that the city has truly changed. What I've shared above is just a small part. With so many people speaking up about this reality, how many can still pretend not to see it, twist the truth, and deny the obvious decline of Magic City? Living in Shanghai has become extremely hard. I saw a claim online that 3 million people have left. Is it true? As a real estate agent for 8 years, I've seen many colleagues leave just last week. Some classmates have returned home or moved south. Others were forced to quit after missing sales targets, something that's been happening since last year. The real issue is the lack of economic recovery. Jobs were once in high demand, but now many can't find work. Without income, people, especially middle-aged parents, can't cover monthly costs. They simply can't hang on anymore. China's economy is deteriorating day by day. Under the pressure of widespread bankruptcies, layoffs, and unemployment, many young people have been forced to leave big cities. Wang He said the cost of living in major cities is too high. What can you do if you can't find a job? You have no choice but to retreat. That's why last year, the population growth in Shanghai and several other top-tier cities was negative. Judging by the current situation, the number of people leaving must be substantial. As the economy weakens and commercial activity stalls, many businesses and workers are starting to move out of Shanghai and even out of China altogether. One Shanghai resident shared, "I went out to buy food today, and since I know the shop owner well, we chatted for a bit. He told me that many people who left Shanghai never came back, something rarely seen in over a decade." I used to work in Shanghai, but since October I've returned to my hometown and have been here for 4 months now. Let me share a bit about how I feel after leaving Shanghai and settling back home. The pressure to survive in Shanghai was simply too intense. Rent alone cost 3,000 yuan a month, and the place I lived wasn't even that good. Add food and daily expenses, and I was spending 5,000 to 6,000 yuan per month. In short, the financial pressure was overwhelming, so I decided to return home. After coming back, that pressure practically disappeared. It became zero, with no more burdens at all. I worked in Shanghai for 10 years and still couldn't afford to buy a home. Is going back to your hometown the only option left? Even when both husband and wife work hard doing overtime, it's still very difficult to stay in that city. The down payment is too high. Without family support, saving up a few million yuan is nearly impossible. Then there's a 30-year mortgage to repay, which is hard for the average person to accept. Those burdens don't give you any sense of security or belonging. That's why people are choosing to leave Shanghai and return to their hometowns. As for me, I'm starting to feel lost. I gave the best 10 years of my life trying to hold on in Shanghai, but still couldn't afford a house. At that point, going back home felt like the only road left. A man who has lived in Shanghai for decades said the city now feels cold and unfamiliar, something he never experienced before. In the past 2 years, everyone seems to feel the same way. People used to eat lunch out every day, good or bad. They'd grab a meal at nearby eateries. But now, everyone brings lunch from home. At noon, people line up at the microwave to heat up their food. They don't eat out anymore. If this were just happening at one company or with a few individuals, it might be understandable. But he noticed this has become a widespread phenomenon. Many of the small restaurants near his workplace have already shut down one after another.